Hey everybody. Okay, so as we've been talking about this normalizing market, one of the facets that can serve you very, very well in representing buyers, and also if you've got a listing, is getting the listing agent together with the selling agent and the seller to present the buyer's offers. Now, the biggest obstacle you're going to face first is getting the listing agent to buy into the idea. And so what has served me very well in the past and what has served others is a simple dialogue. And so I'd like to go over that with you briefly. So I'm the representing the buyer, and I'm talking to you as the listing agent. I say, listen, my client would really like me to present my offer to your seller directly. Now, I understand you may have some hesitation with this, and if you do, just consider a couple of things. Number one, my first intention is to make you look good. And what I mean by that is I'm going to compliment you with the seller and let the seller know that you've been doing everything in your power to get the home sold. You've been following up with me. You've made the house available. You make the house look beautiful. So I really want to start by making you look very good. The second thing is I may be able to say things that you may not totally feel comfortable with. Like if this house has been on the market for a while and you haven't seen an offer, I can engage in dialogues with that seller to maybe let them know that the fact that there's an offer right now is a really good thing and that we want to make it work. And number three, to give that seller greater peace of mind. And what I mean by that is simply that having a more humanistic communication, and I get to present that my buyer loves the home and at the right price, my buyer has a pure intention to close the deal. That type of humanistic component really may make it much easier to make a deal take place. So that's how I would communicate with that listing agent if there is resistance. Now let's go to, I'm in the room with the seller and present that offer. Okay, so now ideally you've gotten the introduction and the seller is there, the listing agent is there, and you're there with your offer. Now a couple of preparatory things to do. Number one, find out how many people are going to be in that living room or wherever that audience is. So if there's a husband, a wife, if there's a business manager, make sure you have copies for everybody of the offer. You bring the offer in, you have it in a manila folder. I'm old school from that perspective. And all the offers are there. You thank everybody so much for taking the time, of course, all the pleasantries. Make sure you compliment the listing agent and you let everyone know that the listing agent did a phenomenal job. And then I would set the table and say, now listen, the offer that I'm going to present to you may not be everything that you want, but ideally it gives you what you need. Now, part of the preparation for that meeting is finding out where the seller's going and how fast they want to get there, because you're going to be able to speak to some of those dynamics when you're presenting your offer. So with your manila envelope there, you start by presenting the value of the terms of your offer. My client is pre-approved. I understand you want to move quickly. My buyer can do that. I understand you may need a lease back. My buyer is willing to give you that lease back. You talk about all of the terms of the offer before you talk about the price. This is critical. So once you've done that, then at the end of your presentation, you say, and I have copies of the offer for everybody. You don't give them out yet. I have copies of the offer for everybody, and my offering price is X. Now, after you say X, do not say another word. Simply look at the dynamic. How do they react? If there is, aghast, if they can't believe you'd come in with X price, you can say, this is my client's introduction. I don't know if they'll go any higher, but I would certainly love a counter from you so that I can take it back to my buyer, and I want to take full advantage of this time. Are there any questions you have about my client? Who they are, where they're from, all of those dynamics. Keep it social, keep it cordial, keep communication going. It will help quell whatever their initial reaction to your offering price is. But at the end of the day, the objective is to set the table, build a humanistic rapport, and do your best to get a counter so that you can keep the offer process moving. This is what has served me very well in the past. Happy to field questions. We can talk about it in office meetings. It's a wonderful way to take a buyer and a seller together and bring them together in this market condition. Thanks very much.